The wind's building over the Nevada plains today as we pull out of Reno, Nevada. We're taking to the rails, traveling the way the American West was meant to be seen, on an eastbound train speeding across the windswept plain. Tonight, that train is Amtrak's iconic California Zephyr as we ride through the night across the plains and deep into Colorado's Rocky Mountains to Glenwood Springs, Colorado. In this part of the United States, where towns and roads are few and far apart, this train has bridged the gap between the American West since the Transcontinental Railroad was completed in 1869, and tonight, I'm taking you with me as we explore this iconic train. Tonight, we'll start our journey in Reno, Nevada, around 4 in the afternoon, where we'll head out into the Nevada plains for some awe-inspiring sunset views. As we head east through the plains of Nevada, we'll wake up immersed in the mesas of Utah, and finally the canyons and valleys of Colorado. Our journey will span some 665 miles of rail before arriving in Glenwood Springs, Colorado some 20 hours later, around 12 p.m. I arrived at Amtrak's Reno, Nevada station following a day of skiing at Palisades, Tahoe, ready to board the California Zephyr. After a few short moments, I was able to check my ski bag onto Glenwood Springs. I will note that Amtrak's website states that oversized bags, such as skis, will be charged an oversized bag fee. However, I was not charged an oversized bag fee on tonight's journey. After a few moments in the lobby trying to determine where to go, I found a stairwell hidden in the corner and followed this down to an ample waiting room where an Amtrak attendant scanned my boarding pass and told me which car I'd be boarding tonight. This alleviated a good bit of confusion when it was time to actually board my train and made the train boarding process much smoother than it would have been otherwise. Just as our train was arriving into the station, we were marshaled onto the boarding platform for the arrival of tonight's train. After a few short minutes, and with much anticipation, our train finally arrived, met with palpable excitement from all the passengers on the platform. Before long, the conductor scanned my boarding pass, and I stepped aboard this massive 2-story Amtrak Superliner train. With a short flight of stairs and a few steps down the passageway, I arrived at my roomette for tonight's journey. Alright, I'm on board the California Zephyr. I'm just getting settled in now, but first impressions is that the room is plenty spacious. It's got plenty of space for me. It's got a little tiny coat closet that I hung up my coat in, and plenty of room for my bags, and plenty of space to stretch out. I just heard the train's whistle sound, so let's get ready to go. As we pulled out of the Reno station, I took a moment to relax into my seat and take in some of the scenery around me before I got settled into my roomette. I enjoyed watching the urban sprawl of Reno pass as we whizzed by on our train, with the distant Nevada mountains coming ever closer with each minute. As I'm getting settled in here, I'm just going to take a minute to show you around the cabin, show you all the amenities that Amtrak has to offer in their roomette. Since we're going to be here for a little while, let's go ahead and test the recline of the seat. There's a little lever. The lever, which is under the base of the seat, allows that base of the seat to slide forward and recline just a little bit. Person in the room, you can kind of put your feet up on the other seat, and then you can kind of lounge back, and if you want to read a book, it's a great position to read a book in. I have traveled in these with 2 people before. It does get to be a little tight. You kind of have to work with, if you have people with longer legs, who gets to put their feet in which direction. It's completely manageable, but that is something to consider if you have multiple people, especially if they're big people. You might want to consider one of the bedroom suites.
The ball's a little cold out.
very difficult. In a very difficult manner. Takes a little bit of force. Got a little checkers board set up. Plenty of room to do a little bit of work if you want to, or dine. There's also a safety instruction manual and a copy of the menu for today.
On the Superliner sleeper cars which Amtrak uses, there are 2 levels of occupancy. The upper level has 10 roomettes, which I'll be spending tonight's journey in, as well as 5 bedroom suites. The roomettes have 2 chairs which face each other and convert into bunk beds at night, whereas the bedroom suites, which are a little larger, have a sofa which pulls out into a larger bed, as well as a smaller upper bunk and a small reading chair. The upper level has 1 bathroom shared between the 10 roomettes, whereas the bedroom suites have their own bathrooms and showers. On the lower level, there are an additional 4 roomettes, a family suite, with bunks that can accommodate up to 6 people, and an accessible room. The lower level has an additional 3 toilets for the roomettes, the accessible room, and the family bedroom, as well as a shower and changing room which services all 14 roomettes and the family bedroom. Fully settled into my room, the only thing left for me to do tonight was to sit back, relax, and enjoy the trip into the Nevada mountains and out into the Nevada desert. Just look at these views out the window. There's no better way to take in the views of the country than through the windows on Amtrak's Superliner train.
Each sleeper car has a bathroom upstairs, which we're in right now, and they also have 3 bathrooms downstairs, as well as a dressing / shower room. So standard toilet, kind of similar to an airline toilet. It's fairly clean. Tissues, toilet paper, little trash can, toilet seat covers. In general, I think that the attendant on this train did a really good job keeping this bathroom clean. So that is the Lou review for today. Going around all the rooms, and he's asking everybody what dinner reservations they want. There was a 5:30 seating and also a 6:30 seating. Wow, look at that. You cannot beat that view. Look at that. Anyways, there's a 5:30 and 6:30 seating, and since I just got on the train, I kind of want to relax a little bit, maybe watch the sunset. So I opted for the later 6:30.
Mile by mile, the views just kept getting better to the point when I was actually disappointed to see the sun go down, because it meant that my window viewing entertainment was done for the evening, at least until the sun would come up tomorrow morning. One of the key perks of having a roomette on the Amtrak Superliner is access to the dining car. I had access to dinner, lunch, and breakfast. However, due to the communal nature of the dining car, I was not able to get as much footage as I would have liked to during dinner. After I returned from the dining car, I was pleased to find my room already turned down into bed mode for this evening.
I'm just laying here as I try to get some sleep, just listening to the train go down the tracks, and it's actually a really relaxing experience. So I think with that, I'm starting to doze off. I'm going to head to bed, but I will see you all tomorrow when I wake up.
Despite a full night's rest, I woke up not quite ready to explore the train for the day. So I took a few moments and I sat there in my bed with the windows open, admiring the sunrise through the Utah canyons and mesas. As our train snaked its way through the canyon, I couldn't help but admire the scenery around me. It really was quite impressive, and it made me ever more excited to see all the scenery that we would experience as our day drew on today. gotta say that review after sleeping in this bed as a larger guy. I had my head on this side over here as opposed to the forward end. As you can see, there's this little armrest here. I probably should have put my head over on that side in hindsight, because this little armrest here was a little tight when I was trying to lay down. Wasn't bad if I was sleeping on my back, but if I tried to sleep on my stomach, it was a little tight. So just so you're aware, a larger person might find this bed a little tight, and maybe that's a situation when you want to opt for the bedroom. As I've said, my shoulders are about 24 inches wide, so you can kind of use that as a comparison to go off of.
Having enjoyed the sunrise, I decided it was time to make my way to the dining car. So I made my way to the dining car, and as I sat there, I enjoyed the Amtrak Railroad French toast and a cup of coffee to the scenery of the Utah towns and mesas passing by around me. After breakfast, it was time to make my way back to my room, where I would enjoy some more scenery before finally going on to explore the Sightseer Lounge. As I continued to admire the scenery around me, I could tell that we were in a different state, and yet, even as the scenery changed around me, it was still ever so awe-inspiring. The Colorado mesas made their way to a bit of fog before we made our way out into the high desert and into the canyons of Colorado before making our way onward, ever closer to our destination of Glenwood Springs. Continuing to admire the views out the window, it reminded me of just how different and relaxing travel by train is. My private roomette afforded me space and relative comfort to sit back, read a book, and admire the scenery unfolding around me as I made my way deeper into the book, page by page. My concentration broken only by casual stares into the scenery around me, and eventually by sips of coffee as I helped myself to the coffee available in the passageway outside of my room. Eventually, however, I decided it was time for my relaxation to give way to productivity. So I got my laptop out. As it turns out, the table provided in the roomette is plenty of space to spread out and work on my laptop. I'd say that even if I was sharing the room, there would be plenty of space for both of us to work. This certainly is an advantage of travel by train as opposed to flying or driving. There's plenty of space and time afforded to have a productive workday, even as you make your way towards a destination. This morning, just trying to get a little bit of work done, get a little bit of reading in, but I was just informed that we are passing through a canyon, so I think this is a good time to go check out the observation lounge and the observation car and the snack car. So let's go check that out. The observation car, called a Sightseer Lounge by Amtrak, is located in the middle of the train and is accessible by both sleeper car and coach passengers. Seats in this space are on a first-come, first-served basis, so if you want a good spot, I suggest you get there particularly early for some of the more scenic spots along this route. As I sat in the Sightseer Lounge, I admired the 25-mile-long stretch through Ruby Canyon as it passed before us. Interestingly enough, the only way to see this canyon aside from a rafting expedition is by riding the California Zephyr. This is just proof positive that there really is no better way to see the country than by train. With Ruby Canyon behind us, we pulled into Grand Junction, Colorado for a fresh air break. I found that these fresh air breaks are a great opportunity to get off the train and walk around for a bit, so I made my way through the coach car to the exit. These coach seats are plenty roomy enough for any length of time, with ample recline and a large footrest that pops out of the seat. Thanks to newly refurbished seats in this car, the seats now have a modern look, and the vinyl fabric gives these seats a much cleaner feel to them.
Back aboard the train now, the conductor provided us with an update as to our arrival time in Glenwood Springs.
Welcome aboard if you boarded here at Junction. If you've been on board, you probably already got all the rules. Just friendly reminder for the passengers boarding here at Junction. Local time 11 a.m. We'll keep you posted as we continue eastward today. Just about 40 minutes off schedule.
Dressing room on this train. Right now it's pretty clean. When I came in yesterday it was a little less clean, but you have a mirror, selection of towels, soaps, shower. It's fairly clean today. You can definitely tell the attendant did clean it. You have a little shower head. It's kind of a tight space. I would definitely recommend shower shoes. And then last night, just kind of put their towels on the floor there. But you really can't fault Amtrak or the attendant for that. That's really just on the users. Just use good etiquette and just kind of, take care of each other, and we really won't have that issue. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty bare bones. It's clean, and I would definitely recommend shower shoes.
Having left Grand Junction, we were ever closer to a destination of Glenwood Springs. As the red canyons transformed into snow-covered mountains, the conductor announced my stop, and it was time for me to head towards the exit. Reflecting on my journey, I really enjoyed the chance to see the countryside in such a unique and picturesque manner. The pace of the train really encouraged me to slow down and enjoy each passing moment. Also of note, the Zephyr was one of the few ways I could ski for a full day at Palisades, Tahoe, and still get some skiing in the following day at Aspen, and if I wanted to, I could do it all via public transportation, and with a full night's sleep. That's an option not offered in domestic aviation. Thanks for coming along with me on today's journey. If you enjoyed today's content, take a moment and subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to follow along with my next adventure. I'd also like to thank all the staff and crew at Amtrak who really strive to make each mile by rail a wonderful experience. Until the next time, so long and safe travels.